You're listening to Comic Reflections, episode 294. I'm your host, Nicholas Prom.
I'm Jeff Barnard, handyman at Paradise Island, because somebody has to open ketchup bottles and kill spiders.
Today we're going to talk about Wonder Woman.
Yep.
First of two episodes we're doing just to, coinciding with the forthcoming Moving Picture Show.
Yep.
Wonder Woman's very first in her 75 years as a character.
Interesting.
Never a movie. Always a TV star. Never a bridesmaid, always a bride. Or never a bride, always a bridesmaid.
Yeah. TV show was fun. I watched it when I was a kid. So.
I've never really seen it, to be honest. Did it ever have any of, like, her villains? Like, the cheetah was never on.
Nope.
Okay.
Not that I remember. There's always saboteurs and all that. So I liked it when it was set in the World War II.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, Earth 2.
And then they got into the modern age, and I didn't like it as much. But
They brought in Wonder Girl, though. That's cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, I know some about it. I mean, I missed that show.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't get aired in my
It's
viewing.
probably on Netflix soon.
Probably. But anyway, today we're going to talk about DC Special Series number 9, which is a Wonder Woman Spectacular. And it's cover dated 1978, but according to Mike's Amazing World of Comics, it went on sale December 13th, 1977. We've got a beautiful cover, penciled by Jose Luis Garcia-Lopez, praise be his name, and inked by Dick Giordano. It's really beautiful. Wonder Woman looks very intense on this cover.
Yeah, we have a Hitler in a knight's outfit riding a horse, and there's actually a painting in Nazi Germany that had him like this.
Oh, okay. And there's harpies and Vikings and stuff swirling around her.
There's Viking women, but they're actually in
Valkyries.
the show they're Valkyries, but they the Valkyries have wings, but they look more awesome here.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a very nice cover. On with our story.
Yeah.
Twinkie alert.
Oh, my
On the
God.
inside front cover, we've got you didn't even see this?
I forgot to. So
No. We have Batman and Sable Lady.
Yeah, Sable Lady. We've all been around the whole city, but everywhere but the Fur Plaza in the world.
Right.
I want to go to the Fur Plaza.
Right. So anyway, this gal is stealing all these fur coats, and Batman and Robin, track her down and to stop her, and they pull the old switcheroo and give her Hostess cupcakes.
Yeah.
And then they take her to jail, I guess.
Yeah, the Mink Marauder. Man, this is great.
Oh yeah.
That's giving it to her on the old chinchilla. Oh man.
And no, not a punch is thrown. So no one's been given it on the chin. But I know it's chinchilla, like an animal to be skinned for first.
Yeah.
Chinchillas.
Yeah, and the heroes do not eat the Twinkies.
Yeah, they don't.
Oh,
The cupcakes.
Cupcakes in this.
Yeah. Chinchillas are wonderful little creatures. They're so docile. Mm-hmm. They're adorable. And they're
I had
really
a friend
soft.
who had one as a pet.
Yeah, as did I.
Yeah, they are cute.
Yeah, they're very sweet. So anyway, our story, we open up with a great splash panel, Wonder Woman in action. The story in this issue is called The Cosmic Quest for the Disk of Mars. Right, okay.
Yeah.
Written by Jack C. Harris, and boy, a lot of artists work on this. We have stuff from Jose Delbo, the great Russ Heath, Steve Ditko, and Dick Ayers. And then all of their pages were inked by Vince Colletta, except for Ditko's, which he inked himself, mercifully. But yeah, unfortunately, there's not a clear demarcation of chapters or anything where the splits. It's kind of jarring when somebody takes over with the pages. So we'll just kind of go through.
I looked it up on Google and I couldn't find much on this.
Well, you got to go to the comics.org, the Grand Comics database. It had all this stuff broke down. But,
I'm talking about people talking about it. Not
this
just
issue.
I read. I saw who made it, but I never saw something people talking about it or giving a summary or saying this or that about it, and that's kind of odd.
It's not that odd. It's not part of her regular series. Mm-hmm. It's this oddball special And, you know, there are thousands and
I guess
thousands of
so.
comic books that have existed. Not everyone has quite gotten to writing summaries about
They
them
ought to
online.
get off their duff and get to work. So, yeah.
We're doing that, preserving the oral history of...
Is that what we're doing? I had no idea.
Are you joking?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If I'm saying something, it's usually a joke.
Okay.
Or trying to be. All right, we got a great splash panel. We have Wonder Woman with her lasso. We have these gods, obviously up to no good, looking at the Earth.
Yep.
We have this goofball and jodhpurs and military gear. We'll see who he is. And we have a battle going on with a pretty well drawn German tank.
Yeah, I think these opening pages are by Jose Delbo, and he's did nice work. I think he was at one time, maybe this time, the regular series artist on Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay. Pretty neat. Well, let's get on to this, what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, New York City, at a time when there is something to fight for. Isn't there always something to fight for?
They're meaning this is happening in World War II time, and so this story is the Earth 2 Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Okay, all right. We have some MPs chasing some saboteurs who have these plans, and there's a gunfight going on. Here comes Wonder Woman, and she kicks butt.
Yeah.
She grabs at the saboteurs and tells the MPs you should be more careful shooting into crowds and all that. And they said, hey, there's a war on, and these plans
not
will
in the middle of
lose
the
war.
street of America. There isn't a war going on.
Oh, there's a war going on, and someone's stealing something that will lose the war. They would take out New York City. And
Okay.
That's or at least think hard about it.
Yeah.
And it's General Katz, Katz.
Yeah.
I don't trust generals with German last names.
I didn't know it's German. That could be a Jewish last name.
Oh, not in World War II. There was a few Jewish officers, but
Gil
not.
Kane, the artist Gil Kane, his last name, his real name was Eli Katz, and he was a Jew.
Yeah. I am making a joke.
Well, I am ready to throw down.
Yeah. I was making a joke about Eisenhower because he has a German last name.
Okay.
So, but don't. Okay. All right. So General Katz doesn't like. The MPs are about to tell Wonder Woman what's going on, and General Katz puts an end to that. And here comes this congressman
Who's a jerk?
Yeah, and he's saying, well, how do we know she's not in with the saboteurs?
Like, what? It's Wonder Woman? She's pretty much
Yeah.
above reproach at this point, I would think.
I would think so, too. And,
That'd be like accusing Superman or Captain America of such things.
oh, they have. Which makes comics fun.
Well, okay.
She takes off in her magic airplane, invisible plane.
It's not magic.
Actually, she says it is. Is that a joke? She says it in later. She explains to another character about it. It's magic. So
I think, what? I always thought it was like the Amazons had cool technological advances.
maybe it was that. Maybe it was a joke.
Okay. I didn't pick up on that. But yeah,
yeah.
the robot plane, the invisible
Yeah.
jet.
So apparently the congressman has ulterior motives because we see his thought balloon.
Well, things are the same today as they were in the 40s.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, goodness. She changes into her military uniform. I think she's a wave or a Navy female personnel at the time.
No, I think she's in the Air Force because she has a lot of close contact with Steve Trevor, who was an Air Force man.
Yeah, you would think so, but that's not a WAC because it'd be Women Army Corps because the Air Force is part of the Army at the time.
Okay.
So Steve Trevor sees. Well, she comes back as Diana Prince. Steve Trevor sees her, so he's all worried about her.
Yeah.
He does not know Diana Prince is Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And
he doesn't really notice Diana.
yeah, it's kind of
It's like the Lois and Clark thing. Like, oh, Clark, what a drip.
Yeah.
Oh, but here comes Superman.
And that's kind of understandable.
Yeah.
You know, and although Diana Prince looks good in her uniform.
Sure.
And so there's this big abandoned warehouse the military was using for their project, and Steve Trevor was supposed to come and do security, but he's 15 minutes too late, so they're going to move everything out somewhere else.
Okay.
So here comes that crappy congressman, and he's saying that Major Trevor seems to be with Wonder Woman all the time, so I can't trust him until there's a congressional investigation. That could be really fun in congressional investigation of Wonder Woman. So.
I guess. I mean,
Or it could not be.
it could be really boring.
Might be. But that was interesting in Superman versus Batman. Or was it Batman versus Superman?
The movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of... Yeah. But then it had Holly Hunter there, so that makes
Well,
sense.
she's terrific, so yeah.
Oh, so they have to leave. Steve Trevor and Diana Prince. So Steve drops Diana at her office, and he's driving, and the controls have been sabotaged.
Oh, no.
And of course, he's on a mountain road. This never happens in the comics at a car wash or something. It's always the worst possible place for this to happen.
But Wonder Woman swoops down from the invisible plane and saves him.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hilarious how much like Steve Trevor just gets saved by her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the guy who is the damsel all the time.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's I'm sure it's emasculating for poor Steve Trevor, but she's a demigod.
Yeah.
So I mean, literally,
Yes.
by definition, a demigod. And oh well, you know, what can you do?
Right.
You're just a guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Schwarzenegger would not be any more effective against her than Steve Trevor was. So it's just,
True.
you know, in his prime.
Yeah. He, you know,
Not even Mr. T.
Was that's like the litmus test for masculinity for you?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing more masculine than Mr. T, and nothing as cool. But, all right. So, we go to Paradise Island.
Yeah.
And there's a magic sphere that...
It's a mirror.
No, it says sphere.
Okay, but I'm looking at it and it looks like a mirror.
That's what I said, and that's what I wrote down. And then and right here it says, through this magic sphere.
Okay.
So, Hippolyta,
Hippolyta.
Hippolyta. Okay.
It's okay. I have mispronounced it in the past as well.
Yeah, no. I knew I would, but let's get that over.
I knew you would too.
She's looking at Wonder Woman saving Steve Trevor. She's troubled that Steve Trevor is going to mess her up, so she plans to call her Wonder Woman back to Paradise Island. And if Wonder Woman gets lucky, does that mean her mother's going to be watching?
Here's the thing. I think she can look in when she chooses. But
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm going to check in on Diana. But it's not like she's watching all the time.
Right.
I mean, like, I would imagine... This is an interesting question because obviously Wonder Woman spends a lot of time in a different time zone than Paradise Island.
Yeah.
So her mother could be looking in on, whoops, you know,
Yeah.
Okay. I never thought of that.
Yeah. I mean, could she be looking and she's on the toilet? You know, the embarrassing.
Well, it's weird that she can just see her wherever she is.
Right. I would not like that.
Yeah, it's
and
like,
we're
does
moving
she-
into a culture or a society that's going to happen,
Oh, yeah.
and I disapprove.
Okay. But I wonder, it's like, does she have a device, like a tracking unit in the Wonder Woman's bracelets or the magic lasso?
Good question. I don't know. Well, you know,
Ooh.
who knows? Okay, Paradise Island looks pretty cool, although not that many people. And
Well, I think they it's like a page and a half. Well, it's like a double page spread, really. And I think they just wanted to show the majesty of Paradise Island, like the features they have, not
Yeah.
so much like, oh, here are the gals that you know live there.
right.
You know?
Yeah, and it's really cool. And
Yeah. Their armor and their costumes are really great, really detailed. I think these pages are by Russ Heath.
yeah. They're nice. So uh, the Queen is talking to the doctor, and you know she's a doctor because she wears glasses.
Yeah, and is it Mala? Who is it?
I don't. She
can't
just
remember.
says doctor.
Okay, but I remember this particular Amazon. She wears glasses, and she's like the more sciencey one. I've read some issues of Wonder Woman, not boatloads, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
Neither have I,
I've
so.
seen this character. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, I mean, outside of the 2 episodes that we're doing leading up to this movie release, we've only done 2 other episodes covering Wonder Woman. Period.
And she.
So that means a total of 6 issues in 5 years of podcast.
Yeah.
For
this really important character.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, and ones we did was Wonder Woman was actually like Diana Prince, and wasn't even dressed like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we did. We covered 1 issue of the depowered Wonder Woman,
Yeah.
but the other 3 were the standard Wonder Woman
Are you
adventures.
including the ones with the Justice League?
No, I meant
Where
like
she was the stenographer? God.
she was the stenographer in the Justice Society,
Society, sorry.
which I don't think we really covered. We mentioned it. But,
No, we had one.
oh, okay. It's coming back to me now. But no, I wasn't referring to stories where she guest appeared or it was a team. Like, we did that team up where she and Superman fell in love because of Cupid.
Wow, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
Okay,
you don't
wow.
remember a lot.
I know. Okay.
But I mean like ones where it was like specifically issues of Wonder Woman's series.
Yeah.
Like, so anyway. I've
Okay.
got on a
Yeah.
rabbit hole here. Back
Okay.
to with a comic.
Yeah.
At hand.
So we have training of the Amazons, and I could have a whole comic book full of this.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fan service here, but lots of and it being a Wonder Woman, there are women bound.
Yeah, and that's a tradition that goes back all the way back to the Golden Age. Like there was tons of being tied up or chained up, like like practically every page in those
I
stories.
think, yeah, it's the guy who was a Wortham who.
William Wortham? No, he was the guy who advocated censorship of comics.
Oh, okay.
William Marston Moulton.
That's it. He was kind of into it,
Yeah.
and so
I mean, he had a very strange life. He invented the lie detector, and he had a polyamorous marriage that, like, he had his wife and his mistress who raised children with both of them in the same home. And even after he died, the 2 of them still lived together.
wow.
He led a very interesting life.
Yeah. Oh, but he gave us Wonder Woman, so.
Yeah.
So the deal is the Amazons are bound so they can learn how to get out of them. And the person, the drill sergeant, whatever, struck out my pretties.
I think you mean the girl sergeant.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Okay, but we get some more training and wrestling and all this. Wow. So the Doctor and the Queen, they go into the Great Hall of Knowledge, which looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it does.
Then through the armory, which has some really cool weapons. And then Aphrodite calls her on the
Collect. Can you believe her?
Yeah. Okay. So I guess Aphrodite knows that the Queen is going to have Wonder Woman return to Paradise Island, and Aphrodite wants Wonder Woman to stay in the real world.
Well, in man's world.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just, in the same way that Hippolyta was watching Diana, Aphrodite is probably watching Paradise Island.
Yeah.
And the goings on.
Turnabout is fair play. So.
Yes.
Okay, so
Cool house ads for Shazam and Steel, the indestructible man.
and a house ad for this magazine we're reading. So.
Yeah. Well, you just think that ad probably ran in every issue
Right.
came out that
Yeah.
summer or whatever. So.
So Wonder Woman thinks, I'm going to go back to that warehouse and see if we can find anything. Although that's a long shot, but she doesn't have anything else, So
Sure. It's the only lead she has.
So she walks in and gets bonked, and she gets captured, and her bracelets are fused together.
Which apparently robs her of her strength.
Yeah.
Which that's my first time I had seen that.
Same here.
Uh,
Okay. Looks like we have a German called We Shall Watch Her.
yeah, I know who this villain is, and you do too because you read the whole issue.
Yeah.
But he'll be revealed relatively shortly.
Okay, so Steve Trevor comes in and then asks for to his office, and there's Etta.
Etta Candy, who I love.
Yeah, and I like her too. The normal person in the whole place. So
yeah, well, and she's such a fun character, especially actually like the Golden Age stories. She's adorable in those.
Is she?
Yeah.
And so asking where Yeoman Prince is, and they can't find her, so she hasn't been around. Okay, so Steve Trevor's been recalled to Washington. And then we go back. Well, we go forward into the home of the gods.
And here we have a great 2-page spread, and this is some Steve Ditko pages, and looks pretty dang cool.
Mm-hmm.
The gods are competing. Ares is fighting Thor.
Yeah,
so all the pantheons apparently hang out together.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. This has been explored about a decade later in Marvel Comics. In Thor, there was some problem he had, and he needed to petition the other pantheons for help.
Mm-hmm.
And he visited the Hindu pantheon and stuff like that, which is pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Hey, here's Loki.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who that is, but it looks like Loki, but it's not. I think that's Mars.
There's a whole bunch of these cats.
Yeah. So Thor loses, and which
is embarrassing
to Mars.
Yeah.
And who knows who would win? Okay,
I don't know.
Crying out loud.
Who was the Marvel Comics Thor? I would call foul, but
yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm. So Mars has always got a big M on his.
Well, remember his chest harness has a big M.
I didn't just notice that.
Remember, oh no, I didn't read it with you. It was an episode I did with Spencer. But we had like Heimdall show up in Thor comic, and his had this huge H from like shoulder to hips on his costume. It was pretty funny.
I keep forgetting the first letter of my name, so I keep it on me at all times. So.
Yeah. For the casual reader, I think it's very helpful. Like, oh, that's Heimdall. With the H.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh, yeah. So
Mars is just looking crazy. I mean, Ditko, it's hard for him not to draw villains who just look who don't look completely insane all the time.
Yeah. Mars has his minions, the Duke of Deception, Lord Conquest, and the Earl of Greed.
Now, the Duke of Deception shows up quite a bit as a Wonder Woman adversary.
Oh.
But not in the, two fists of handfuls of issues that I've read, but I am aware of him as a recurring character.
Yeah, I was like, man, they really kiss his backside, and this is, well, would I do anything different? He's a god, after all.
Yeah.
And a particularly nasty one at that.
Well, and there seem to be kind of like tiers of importance and power as far in the realm of the gods, and these guys are, I think, like they exist to be his minions.
Yeah. I'd like to know their origin stories. Are they just regular people, or are they demigods or semi-gods, or I don't know. I think they should have had a better name. I'd be like the Emperor Slack. And you could be the valet of ineptitude.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's pretty cool. So, we get a lot of exposition. There's
What does the exposition tell us in relation to the story? What is his plan or whatever?
There's this disc, and he's and it makes the wearer on Earth invincible, and it feeds power into Mars. So I guess that's why he was able to defeat Thor, because war and strife makes more power for Mars.
Okay, that makes comic book sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. And the warrior has no knowledge about the power that the disc contains. So, Marius walks out, and we find out that Aphrodite's been listening in. Oh man.
How do we feel about that, Jeff?
Yeah. I if I was going to have this earth-shaking secret plan, I'd make dang sure nobody was around. It's what.
Yeah, but again, the hubris of supervillainy.
Yeah.
My plan is
It's infallible.
yeah, exactly. Nothing could thwart
Yeah.
me. So they get careless.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in these pages too.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Yeah, Ditko really does a great job here. And as far as like late period Ditko, which I would consider this to be, pretty nice.
Yeah, there's a real golden age feel to the characters, but
Yeah.
a very cool. I like the buildings and all the stuff a lot better than I do the characters. Although they're good, but they have a golden age feel to them. A little bit too exaggerated at times.
Yeah, I think that kind of makes Ditko a very good choice for this. I mean, for a guy whose career started in the 50s, but um, and also this is an Earth 2 Wonder Woman story, so why not give it a golden age feel?
Why
You know,
not
look and
indeed?
feel. There is a weird thing where Mars has this chessboard with pieces of Hitler and Wonder Woman.
Yeah. And they have to put a swastika on Hitler to make sure you know he's Hitler.
And not Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, right.
Although he's giving the Sieg Heil, too.
Yeah, no. And he's wearing an armband. He's, that's sort of.
Oh, wait, was Hitler a Nazi? I forget.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think nobody does.
Oh, okay. So we go to Hitler.
Yay! Oh man, he's always angry. What's up?
Man.
Oh man.
Eva must have had a headache that day.
Yeah, he's always raving, and it's
Yeah.
kind of cool. He is a great comic book character, and I like to see him in comic books.
Getting punched.
Yeah, getting punched, or he's in a lot of Nick Fury, Sergeant Rock. I mean, no, not Sergeant Rock.
Sergeant Fury, yeah.
Sergeant Fury, and he's always a fun character, and
Yeah.
he's evil. So, and they never do anything different with Hitler. He's always just Hitler. He's not. Oh, I'm actually a nice guy or anything like that.
He's just like full Hitler all the time.
He doesn't marry Aunt May or anything like that.
I'd love that one where they had Doc Ock marrying Aunt May.
I've heard of it. I have not read it, but that's
Yeah.
man, that's
It's such a ridiculous thing, though.
mhm.
But I've read that story.
Yeah.
Um,
Does it work?
eh,
Okay.
like it kind of works. It works well enough.
Mm-hmm.
70s Spider-Man is kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
There's some great stuff, and there's some really mediocre stuff. I still think it's a great decade for that character,
Mhm.
but yeah.
I like the character Doc Ock though.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm like, anytime Dr. Octopus shows up, like, sign me up.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And he made the best Spider-Man movie.
Well, he didn't make the movie,
I know,
but the best Spider-Man movie happened to have Doc Ock as the
Right.
villain.
Mhm.
Correct. Yeah, Hitler.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Okay. All right, so he's gonna go meet the Baroness. No last name because there's only one Baroness in all of Germany.
I think this is another recurring Wonder Woman villain,
Yeah,
but I'm
she
not
is.
sure.
I think her name's Gunther.
Okay.
I had to look that up. Though. It's
Yeah,
not
so
here.
so it's a 2-page splash, and she has like all these slaves, these
Yeah.
slave girls.
Okay, this is the.
It's kind of like Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS,
So-
in an evening gown.
Mhm. So this is a third depiction of bound women. And
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of this.
Mhm. I think when I was reading it, well, we reach half a dozen. We don't, but okay. Well, the Baroness is easy on the eyes. I love the dress. I like.
It's very nice. It's a nice dress. It kind of looks like, for some reason, it reminds me of the Dragon Lady from Steve Canyon, or was that Terry and the Pirates?
Terry and Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of the Enchantress a little bit too.
Oh yeah. Very good.
Okay.
Not
So-
the DC Comics Enchantress, the Marvel Comics
Right.
Enchantress.
Exactamundo. And so
And there's Nazi soldiers around guarding
yeah.
all these
Mhm.
chicks. It's
yeah, and
weird.
they have whips and all that stuff. Oh, and the captured girls or the slave girls are in bikini tops and just mini skirts.
Right.
Uh, the Baroness invites Hitler into her private quarters, and he says, "I don't have time for that." Yes.
Like what?
Yeah. And what he's
No.
got, she smokes a cigarette with a cigarette holder, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
And she has a slave holding the ashtray. One of my greatest dreams was to have that.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah. So she uses the whip, and Hitler says, "We need to speak alone." And she takes her whip and says, "Get out of here!" And they probably would have gotten out anyway. But
Right.
yeah.
So then we cut back to what do they talk about?
They talk about this box, and then we don't know anything about it.
Okay, so then we go back to Wonder Woman, who's
Yeah.
tied up in the warehouse
Yeah.
with her own lasso. How embarrassing!
Yeah, I'm not sure this is the fourth depiction because she's already been depicted as bound.
Look,
but-
let's just not keep a running count. There's plenty of bondage in this Wonder Woman issue, to the surprise of no one.
Right, which makes it a Wonder Woman issue.
Yeah.
All right, we get the exciting congressional investigation. And it's boring.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Movies and comic books make boring things interesting, like trials and
Yeah.
and investigations and all this, because it cuts out the boring parts. And
Yeah.
and life is mostly boring parts,
Yeah.
And
I think that worked, like when movies were new and like the most exciting thing in the world you could possibly do was read a book.
mhm, yeah.
But yeah, like congressional hearings and criminal trials are boring.
Yeah, I mean, there could be exciting parts in them, and
Yeah.
there usually are.
But most of it's Dullsville, baby.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so here's that kooky congressman again. He's causing trouble, and so they can't find Wonder
Yeah,
Woman.
it's
So
Mr.
there's no-
Jerkwad goes to Washington.
Yeah, yeah. There's no so there's no point of having it because Wonder Woman's not there.
Right.
But Steve Trevor is not allowed to go to the secret place.
What secret place?
Where they're doing the project or whatever.
Project what?
We don't know yet.
Oh, okay. So then we're introduced to this ridiculous-looking character, the Bombardier.
Oh, man.
He looks like a World War I pilot
Yes.
with a bomb and like a target on his chest. He's wearing jodhpurs.
Yeah, which
And he-
I would love to do, but no.
Yeah. And he's got like gun holsters and stuff. Here's the
Yeah.
thing, why does he have guns? Because he flies and has blasting powers.
Yeah.
What does he need guns for?
Well, they're handy to have around.
That'd be like if Superman carried a Tommy gun. Like, why? You don't need it for anything.
Because it's cool, man. Get with the program. Yeah.
He I just thought it'd be fun. You know how you'll see in like He-Man or like Sword and Sorcery movies, like the on the back sheath for a sword, and they reach backward and get it. What about like if the Punisher had like a Tommy gun holster on his back and he reached back like it was like a sword thing, or would it not? Yeah, probably.
You wouldn't be able to sit down because the Tommy gun has a magazine that goes horizontally to it,
Yeah.
or perpendicular, so you would never be able to sit down.
Or lean against anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can with a sword because the sword is long and flat.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but good thinking. Keep it up.
I try.
Okay.
So the Bombardier is flying around and yelling about how he's the Bombardier,
yeah.
and then he's thinking
I
stuff.
know this is like the first time he's ever done it. It works. I really had the power of flight. Like it's the first time.
Well, it's the first time we see this stupid
No,
character.
this is one he says.
I know that, but remember there are types of exposition that are told.
Yeah.
I'll let you know what
Yeah.
this guy's about.
Okay, but this is his first time as the Bombardier, and he goes to Germany and rescues Wonder Woman. Man, that's a good rookie day there.
Right? It's as if he knew she was there or something.
Yeah, interesting.
But anyway, he rescues her, and then she punches him immediately.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And he unfuses the bracelets, and she says, "Oh, you must be a good guy."
Yeah.
So he tells this weird order. He's a pilot and in a fighter plane. He and he's knocked down, and this voice says, "I'll give you life and power." And the end.
Right.
And
The identity of this character is unrevealed, but I feel like you're led to think it is Steve.
oh,
Did you pick up on that? They're kind of feeding you this notion that maybe it's Steve.
not knowing much about Wonder Woman, I thought it was like a character who was around.
Oh.
Recurring character. I had no idea, and I was shocked a couple of times by what happens to him or
Right.
revelations.
We'll get there when we get
Exactly.
there. But did at any point you think, "Oh, is this Steve?"
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
But I should have. I don't know. Back to Paradise Island.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Oh man.
Elliot Nelson as Untouchables were in hot pursuit. Oh, sorry, wrong comic book.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Queen and the Doctor are talking, and she says, "All right, let's move all the Amazons to the regular world of men," and we see a huge mass of Amazons
Yeah,
dressed in
they're great.
brass braziers,
Yeah.
and they're really well drawn.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick promotional break, and we'll return after these messages with more Wonder Woman.
Aquaman and Firestorm fighting crime together. Soak 'em down or burn 'em up. No one does it better. Whenever you find trouble, they'll always be there to catch them in a bubble or even torch their hair. Stand for truth and justice in sea, on land, and air. Firestorm and Aquaman, they make a super pair.
The Fire and Water Podcast, celebrating Aquaman, King of the Seven Seas, and Firestorm, the Nuclear Man.
Available weekly on Aquaman Shrine, Firestorm Fan, and on iTunes and Stitcher.
I'm one of your hosts, the Irredeemable Shag, here to talk about Firestorm. Along with me is my co-host Rob Kelly, here to talk about some guy that talks to fish.
Really? You're going to pull this crap during the promo? Bad enough I have to put up with your shenanigans every week, but...
The end of the world is approaching. Soon the planet will be engulfed in a nuclear Armageddon, and the only people that can prevent this from happening are considered to be the greatest villains of all time. The only thing standing in their way is the Justice League. In 2005,
Wait a second. Are we sure about that date this time?
Yeah, it's 2005. We're sure this time.
Let's just be perfectly clear. I hate all of you so much.
Okay, good. Got that. All right.
in 2005, DC Comics began publishing a 12-issue bi-monthly comic called Justice. Written by Jim Kruger with art by Alex Ross and Doug Braithwaite, this series was essentially a Super Friends for adults. And now another group of Super Friends has come together to discuss all 12 issues in a podcasting crossover called J.L. May 2017. The excitement begins on the April 30th episode of the Fire and Water podcast and continues into Supermates, the Idlehead of Diabolu podcast, Views from the Long Box, the Pulp to Pixel podcast, the Lantern Cast, the Shazam Cast, Comic Reflections, the Silver and Gold podcast, the Power of Fishnets, Waiting for Doom, and Justice's First Dawn. J.L. May 2017. Last year, they covered the beginning of the Justice League. This year, they discuss and review the League's toughest battle. The coverage begins on April 30th on the Fire and Water podcast, located at fireandwaterpodcast.com.
And we're back. And so we go back to the home of the gods, where
All right. Mars comes on to Aphrodite.
He
And
punches through a doorway,
yeah.
which is great.
And he says, "Ha ha! I knew you knew all along."
Okay.
And then here comes the Valkyries and the Harpies attacking the Amazons.
Wow. And there's a great battle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really surprised that and disappointed that in this issue we don't see the Amazons riding their battle kangaroos.
What?
Yeah, one of the issues we covered before, they were riding their giant kangaroos fighting in some training thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have these giant kangaroos that they ride.
Man, yeah. I'd bring out some of those futuristic weapons they had.
Right.
Why not?
They have some weird super science, and then it's like swords and shields and spears? Really?
Yeah. Maybe an arrow or two? I don't know.
So anyway, we go cut back to Wonder Woman.
Okay, here. Ingenious craft. What makes it fly? Call it magic bombardier.
Yeah. So which she's being facetious though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the bombardier. She and the bombardier are going. The villain who kidnapped her is revealed as the Red Panzer.
Yeah. Oh, now we will see if Von der Fraulein has. Boss, it's escaped. Von der Fraulein sounds a lot better, I think.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Red Panzer. He's wearing a suit of red and your average Nazi outfit.
He's got kind of like he's disfigured, so he's got like a Doctor Doom type of mask with the cool Nazi war helmet.
He only has one eye.
Yeah.
Hmm.
He's extra disfigured.
Yeah.
Not just regular disfigured.
Yeah, he was scoffed at by the German High Command, and he was an inventor, genius, and he's battled Wonder Woman almost to a standstill, which is pretty good.
Yeah. Now, actually, he's pretty neat I think, if I remember correctly, he's a Bronze Age villain, but retroactively set into the World War II, the Earth 2 setting.
Yeah. Okay.
If that makes sense.
So, Wonder Woman is carrying around Bombardier, and
he's riding in the jet.
Yeah.
She's not like got him slung over her shoulder.
Yeah, right. She's trying to call her mother, but she doesn't answer. And it's impossible. I can't contact her. So.
I love how there's a wire she hooks up to her tiara to like contact
Oh my God! Yeah,
that's just so weird.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that issue with the Fantastic Four where Reed Richards and Doctor Doom were gonna have that duel, and they've got that weird gun that's pointed at both of their heads?
Yeah.
Yeah, like at their foreheads. It was really strange. It's one of the more oddball Kirby creations.
Yeah.
But it's neat. I think it was because they were having this psychic battle or something goofy like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So, so the voice is telling him to.
The voice that gave the Bombardier his power?
Yeah. He's supposed to go. In the other identity, you can find information that sends you in the greatest of battles. So he wants Wonder Woman to send him back to Washington, D.C. All right, we go to the Red Panzer, and he's looking at these two girls beating up a guard. And it's the slave girls of the Baroness, and they beat up a German guard, and why? I don't know. Maybe they get their jollies from that?
I don't know. Or maybe it was a training exercise?
Yeah, but there's no explanation.
Gotta put something in the panel.
I guess so, yeah. All right, so the Baroness says her girls are everywhere, and that's how the Red Panzer was actually locked up, and now he's escaped, and is apparently due to the Baroness's slave girls.
Okay.
And here's the box we saw earlier, and we don't know what it is. And she wants him to duplicate it because he's an inventive genius.
Mm-hmm.
And
inventive genius or disfigured doofus? Find out.
Yeah. The answer is both.
So we go back to America, I guess.
Yeah.
And some army guys are talking.
Yeah. Diana Prince comes in and says, "Hey, where you been?" And says, "Oh, I was with Wonder Woman." Okay. Okay. And they've been called to the war room, which is kind of cool, except they have this great map where you see these lines of where the Germans are coming and the Americans, and then you see the Japanese, but there's no landmass, there's no country, so you don't know where they're at. So it's kind of interesting. But it looks cool though. Okay, and America's losing a battle, and that makes the congressman happy. And here's this major battle, and here comes Wonder Woman and the Bombardier, and they're fighting. And the Bombardier has flames or ray beams coming out of his hands.
Yeah.
And
oh, that's a great fight. He and Wonder Woman are kicking the crap out of these Nazi soldiers.
yeah,
And then Hitler's yelling again.
yeah.
This time into a microphone.
He's got a good news, and he's salivating.
Yeah,
Yelling.
which I think is creepy.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to be a creepy, you know.
Yeah, okay. So I guess the Baroness and the Red Panzer are there too.
Yeah, hey, the Red Bear. I mean, the Red Bear.
Red
Well,
Panzer.
that's where the name comes from.
Right.
The Red Panzer has got his hands on the Baroness.
Yeah. Well, he took his helmet off too, and it looks like he's a redhead.
Yeah. And she's a redhead too. And she's still wearing the same dress. I mean, really?
I mean, like it's after Labor Day. No.
Yes.
I mean, isn't this the same day though?
Maybe. No, I don't know.
I didn't get a sense of a lot of time elapsing. Just there's a lot of things going on at the same time.
It could be. I don't know.
So then we go back again to the gods and stuff.
Yeah. So,
More goofiness from Steve
okay,
Ditko.
here is one of the major themes of the story is that Mars likes war and hate, and Aphrodite likes love. She has a heart on her back of her.
She has a heart on her headband too.
Yeah, and
It's kind of her thing.
yeah, and so it's love versus war. Who will win?
But then she takes out a sword and starts fighting Mars.
Yeah, and it doesn't work, and he's laughing because he's getting all that power from the whatchamadoodle, the disc.
Right. Hey, so we have a cool house ad for a comic book that we recently covered on the show.
Oh.
It's the Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes treasury, the one with the wedding of Saturn Girl and Lightning Lad.
Yeah, and it looks really cool.
Where they
and
fought
it was cool.
where they fought the Red Chinese on the moon. Remember that?
Yep, that was awesome. Okay, so Mars is laughing at Aphrodite.
Like a jerk.
Yeah. So we see a bunch of fighting. We have fighting in all the gods. We have fighting with the Germans and Americans. We have fighting on Paradise Island. And it looks like the Amazons are winning.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the harpies that are drawn. They're really cool looking.
Yeah.
But they're kicking the crap out of the Valkyries and the harpies. What a great army the Amazons turn out to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So see, this is what I don't understand.
We cut back again to the Red Panzer and the Baroness.
And they're somewhere. They landed in a U-boat. And the America, England, I have no idea. That takes a lot of time. So one of the slave girls comes up, and there's a guard, an American guard, and she shows a little leg, and she bashes him over the head.
Wow.
Here comes a U-boat, and this is... I'm not sure what they're doing. I guess they're just landing. And the German soldier asks the Baroness, "What about your slave girls?" And she shoots them because they're expendable.
Wow.
That's
pretty cool.
Waste. And stupid.
Yeah, why kill your own henchmen unless they've failed you or defied you?
Yeah.
Right? They did what they were supposed to, right?
Oh, and she's leaving. So they landed and leaving, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I got confused by that.
Yeah.
So back to Mars and Aphrodite again.
Yeah.
Hercules shows up and he's being a jerk too.
Yeah. Warrior legend. Okay. Yeah. And Mars is holding Aphrodite by her hair.
Yeah.
And holding her up. So
yeah, he's a real male chauvinist pig.
Mm-hmm. So we get some fight footage, and it's pretty dang cool. It's neat. Wonder Woman is kicking butt, as is the Bombardier, and those who win, but the battle's lost because battles are huge. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of men, so you can win over a mile radius, But if the enemy wins in the other sections, you're cut off. So
Yes.
So he's talking. The Bombardier is talking to Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And
He reveals he was Congressman Jerkwad.
yeah. Oh, there's a lot. She says, "Well, you really enjoyed that fight," and he apologizes that he mistrusted her. And he's a congressman.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. So she finally gets a hold of her mother, and her mother says, I guess she's supposed to search for the disc because Aphrodite told the Queen. The Queen has told now has told Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
All right, so we go back to Washington. Here's Diana Prince and Steve Trevor, and we're talking about Project Judgment, which is they won't tell us what it is. So, okay.
Right.
All right, so they captured one of the slave girls because not only is the Baroness stupid, but she's a bad shot. So she doesn't kill one of the slave girls, and so the slave girl spills the beans. And so the Germans are making a Project Judgment as well as the Americans, but the Germans are doing it faster because the Americans had to move their base because the saboteurs came.
Oh, okay. So, but Project Judgment from the U.S. or the Nazis, it's the same thing they're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
And she says, "Oh, there's the Red Panzer," and
He's a supervillain.
And Wonder Woman says, "Oh, he knows all my weaknesses."
Oh, like the bracelet thing.
Yeah.
Does she have any other weaknesses? I can't really think of any.
I don't know. It's nothing like wood or kryptonite or anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because wood, the Golden Age Green Lantern couldn't affect wood.
Or color yellow.
Well, the Silver Age one couldn't affect yellow, yeah. But yeah, doesn't have a traditional weakness like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Hitler, the Red Panzer, and the Baroness are together and giving each other the Sieg Heil. And we get these thoughts, and this is, I think, the coolest part of the comic book. The Baroness is going to take over from Hitler and Red Panzer. The Red Panzer is thinking, I'm going to take over from Hitler and off the Baroness. And Hitler says, I'm going to kill both of them. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and that's fairly typical of a lot of super villainous team-ups. Hey, we got another great house ad.
Yeah.
So for something else we covered on the show, for the Superman versus Muhammad Ali Treasury Edition.
Yeah.
Which is
awesome.
wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
What a great comic book.
Yeah. All right, so Diana Prince goes AWOL, and Wonder Woman comes up, and she takes Steve to... Okay, the slave girl tells him where the weapon's at. The German secret weapon. So...
Do we learn the name of what the weapon is called yet?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
I bet it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure they came up with a great name for it.
Yeah. Oh man, this is. Yeah. Oh, here we are. They're flying, and and the secret weapon's based on sound. It's called the Cyclosonatron.
I read that and I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
The Cyclosonatron is maybe the most gobbledygook, technobabble name to give anything, but it's so great at the same time.
Yeah, I guess Boombox was already taken. Oh, okay. So
Cyclosonatron.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's it amplifies sound to such a destructive degree that we called our Project Judgment.
I know. I'm surprised
like
they didn't
Gabriel's horn.
Why didn't they just call it Project Brown Note?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know about that?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So the Bombardier shows up. Yay!
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
You're yaying for this?
No. Sarcastically.
Whoa! Did you notice the phallic nature of the Cyclosonatron? Did you pick up on that?
Oh my God! No.
I just noticed.
I don't have a dirty mind like you, but
what? You're the one who brings up fan service every panel he sees.
Oh yeah.
But
so Hitler comes in and shows Baroness and Red Panzer, hey, here's my secret weapon. And then,
Look at the smile on his face.
Yeah.
Isn't that creepy?
yeah. And then, right at that instant, here comes Wonder Woman and the Bombardier, and they're fighting with the... Oh, man, that is a huge phallic symbol. Jeez. Okay, God, I can't believe I missed that. So it's a big fight, and they're fighting.
Yeah, with the...
She's
Oh,
looking
man,
for them more.
the fight with the Red Panzer and the Baroness is great.
Yeah. So I had never understood what the box was for. There's this electronic box that they're supposed to... the Red Panzer are supposed to make a lot more copies of, but nobody knows what they do.
Maybe it has the plans for the...
I don't know.
Or an important component to the cyclosonatron.
Yeah, right.
Or maybe it has something to do with the disc of Ares or Mars, whatever.
Maybe it's something to find your car keys. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that does seem weird. I don't seem there doesn't seem to be a payoff with that.
yeah. Okay, so the Baroness fires and misses at Wonder Woman, and she has a box.
I love that panel because like it's the Baroness firing on Wonder Woman in the foreground and Wonder Woman in the back, like swinging the lasso around like mid leap. It looks great.
Yeah, and a nice picture of a Luger, well drawn. Okay, and here is the last bounding of somebody because Baroness is captured and the woman says, "Oh, another electronic device, but this isn't a disc because it's going to be magical or something like that."
Okay.
So Hitler turns on the machine.
What's it called again?
Cyclosonatron. I hate you. You're making me say that. I bet you're going to name your kid Cyclosonatron. Okay, so the Amazons have won their battle.
Yay!
And, there's a lot of injuries and all, but, I think if they wore more armor, they wouldn't have as many injuries.
I gotta say though, I would imagine that their battle costumes is what I'm gonna call them right now. There's a lot of freedom of movement, which could be advantageous to them.
Yeah.
Also, it's a comic book.
Yeah. Actually, though, I am not complaining. So
yeah. Oh, jeez.
So they destroy the secret weapon, the Cyclosonatron. And then Steve Trevor says,
Steve Trevor? Oh, yeah, there he is. Okay.
I don't think he did a dang thing except look on.
Yeah, and Steve shows up here and there in the issue, but he doesn't really do anything.
I think, does he ever?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
He'll do stuff in the...
Hey, look out, Wonder Woman. Hey, behind you.
He does stuff in the issue we'll talk about next week.
Okay. So Wonder Woman says, well, I have to search for the disc again, and we don't know where they're going to go. And then Steve Trevor says, and this is important, he says, they'll scrap the project, move on to something else that will further their love of war. And that love of war, that Mars is god of war, he loves war, the disc will have to do that. And then she comes to this surprising revelation that the Bombardier has the disc. I didn't see that coming at all.
And it's the source of his power. Well, sort of. It's a conduit of his power, which was given to him by Mars. But he didn't know. It was just a mysterious voice.
Yeah. Well, it's a huge disc, so I'm going to have questions about it.
It looks like a weird disco medallion.
Yeah.
So it's about, 40, 50 years. Well,
yeah.
My math is not good here.
Yeah.
But
let's see. Mars appears kind of in shadow behind him.
Yeah.
So I am invincible. And
Wonder Woman disagrees.
Yeah. And then we see... Is that Aphrodite there?
I think so.
No, that's Aphrodite.
So it's another Amazon. Just don't worry about it.
So they're thinking, women shall conquer men with love. So, and the Bombardier says, I'm ready for anything. And Wonder Woman says, anything but this. And he kisses her. And she kisses him. And
crushes the disc.
Yeah, in her hand.
So it takes away the Bombardier's power and also thwarts Mars because the conduit of all the war battle action, whatever that was giving him powers, went away.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow, that's quite a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah. Yeah. Too bad Patton didn't try that in World War II. It'd have been over a lot longer. All you had to do is kiss the German soldiers. That'd be great. So the congressman, I guess, is okay now.
Yeah.
And
just not being so much of a jerk.
Yeah. And the Queen is happy that Wonder Woman is in the man's world. And that's about it. We have the congressman, then the bombardier shows up, and Wonder Woman thinks he's a bad guy, but then he turns into a good guy, and then we find out he's a congressman who's a bad guy, but the bombardier is really a good guy, and then finds out that he's being controlled by Mars, who's a bad guy, so the disc is crushed, now he's a good guy again. Is that clear?
Sure.
Oh, man.
No,
That's convoluted.
Even for DC Comics, there was a lot of plot in this story.
Yeah.
It was a lot of crap.
Yeah. It was fun. It wasn't great. Oh.
We have a cool map of Paradise Island as a nice bonus feature.
Yeah.
There's a lot of neat stuff there.
Yeah, the Pool of Monsters. I've always wanted that as a water feature at my house. That'd be great. Yeah. Man, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Although, I was disappointed with this. It could have been a lot better. It's convoluted. The love versus war thing was kind of simplistic and stupid. And they're trying to be sophisticated with the change of who the bombardier is, good guy, bad guy, or congressman and all that stuff. Yeah. And it was just, a reveal like that can be really cool. Like in the movie The Usual Suspects, and I was floored.
Okay, I haven't seen that movie, so don't tell me anything.
But here it's just, oh, wow, that's amazing. And then, oh, really? It's just too much. Sure. One reveal would have been nice, two, but then there's three? Ugh. Okay, so, I don't know. Well drawn, pretty good. It just...
Yeah. Now, did the changing of artists, throughout the issue, because there's a lot of people work on this, was that jarring for you? Did it work pretty smoothly?
I think it was a little bit jarring, but I got over it.
Yeah. The Ditko stuff was just so very, very different than the other three pencilers.
Yeah. Yeah. The Golden Age stuff, I don't know. I really ought to get over my unappreciating the Golden Age drawing style. It's just a little bit too crude for my taste.
Sure,
but
there's a lot of variance.
It's stupid of me, and I'm wrong, but I can't get over that. But okay. Not that I can't enjoy a Golden Age comic, but I kind of do look down upon them, and kind of because they look crude, but
sure.
They're important. So, okay,
all right. Comic Reflections is recorded in Portland, Oregon, and produced by Sean Roof. Until next time.
We'll see you in the funny pages.
Stop and listen! Stop and listen to me! Listen! Listen! Listen to me! They're not human! Everyone! They're here already! You're next!
November 4th, 1988. Earth is invaded by an alien alliance composed of several species, including the Dominators, the Khunds, the Tanagarians, and the Durlans. And they want our superheroes. Even though Australia has been decimated, the United Nations response is unequivocal. Drop dead. First Strike, the Invasion podcast, takes you back to that moment in time and covers the entire Invasion DC Comics crossover. Issue by issue, tie-in by tie-in. Join Bass and Siskoid at fireandwaterpodcast.com or on iTunes. First Strike, the Invasion podcast, a proud member of the Fire and Water Podcast Network. Remember, Melbourne.
Batman Nightcast, a thrilling new podcast from the Fire and Water Podcast Network, hosted by Ryan Daly
and Chris Franklin. Nightcast chronicles the Cape Crusaders' adventures in Batman and Detective Comics after Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Highlights from this legendary era include
Batman number 400.
Legends.
Mike Barr and Alan Davis.
Batman Year 1.
Batman Year 2.
Max Allan Collins.
Ugh.
The new Jason Todd.
Ugh.
Millennium?
You're not doing this right. Let me take over. Alan Grant and Norm Brayfogle.
Alan Grant from Jurassic Park?
Did you hear me say Norm freaking Brayfogle?
Oh, yeah.
Son of the Demon.
The Killing Joke.
A Death in the Family.
Batman Year 3.
A Lonely Place of Dying.
Alan Grant, Alan Davis, Max Allan Collins. Why are there so many people named Alan from this era of Batman?
The Rise of Tim Drake.
Legends of the Dark Knight.
And that's just up until 1989.
Did anything exciting happen with Batman after that?
You'll have to tune in to find out.
Batman Nightcast, part of the Fire and Water Podcast Network.
Find it on iTunes and at fireandwaterpodcast.com.
Oh, we forgot to mention your favorite issue, when Batman fires Dick Grayson.
You want to find another co-host?